What's going on, guys? Back at it again with another episode of the What's Bothering You Today podcast. And it's been a while. It has been a while since I posted an episode. A lot of things have been happening in life, and we've just been trying to move forward, take the next step, just keep going. Not give up, not get too depressed. It's just life. Life happens, and life doesn't pause for anybody. So um, I'm sorry about being inconsistent, and I want to make the effort to do better. And I just want to say thank you for everybody that has stuck around, and thank you for tuning in to this video. And if this is your first time joining in, I'm your host Anthony of the What's Bothering You Today podcast, where we talk about what's bothering you today. English. What's bothering you today? I'm not gonna cut that out. I'm trying to be more authentic. And one of my previous taglines was, we're not on like, we're not complaining essentially, because when you're talking about what's bothering you today, you can tend to go into the realm of complaining. But I was like, well, what is the definition of complaining? So I Googled it a little bit, and it said complaining is the expression of dissatisfaction or annoyance about something. So essentially, I guess really we are complaining. This podcast is us complaining because we're talking about the things that's bothering us, something that's we're dissatisfied about, something that annoys us. So essentially we are complaining. So I just kind of want to say that I don't think all complaining is bad. You can over complain, but I don't think there's anything wrong with talking about, hey, this is something that bothers me, or this is something that I'm dissatisfied, because if you don't voice it, how will people know, like, especially in a relationship? How does your partner know something that's bothering you, or something that you even want, unless you voice that opinion, and unless you voice that concern, that thought? So I might be kind of pushing it a little bit, because I'm trying to say that it's okay for for this podcast, but whatever. There's nothing wrong with complaining. All right. So something I want to try doing a little differently to kind of help with the consistency is do little mini episodes. And of course, it decides to rain now. We had a little break in rain. It was storming earlier, but then it stopped. So I was like, "Oh, we're good. I can go ahead and record this episode." But now it's raining. So if y'all hear a little rain in the background, because it's definitely getting crazy out here now. But if y'all hear a little rain in the background, don't mind it. Just ignore it. All right. But yeah, today I have, like I said, we're gonna do like these little mini topics to kind of increase the consistency. So I'm gonna get on and talk about something that's bothering me, because I got a whole list of stuff, just a whole list of stuff that I can just talk about myself. And of course, you guys can put stuff that's bothering you in the comment section, especially if you're watching on YouTube. You can put it, or you can, yeah, you can put it in the comment section if you're watching on YouTube. And hey, I might talk about it, because oftentimes the things that's bothering you is bothering somebody else out there. And that's kind of how you kind of build like a camaraderie, or like you find common ground with different people. And you're like, oh, you can relate. Oh, you feel that? You understand where I'm coming from. So yeah, I think that's just kind of cool how you can kind of come together on different things like that. But the thing that's bothering me is I'm gonna tell it in a story, because it just happened here recently. So here we go. So the other day, me and my two of my sisters, we went out to eat at Roadhouse. Right. In my town, Roadhouse is moving to a different location. So my sisters wanted to eat at location one final time before they moved to their new location. So we decided that we wanted to go out and eat there, right? Well, a few days ago, at this point, from that point, it was it was a fresh cut. Like, I freshly got a haircut. It was like the day before I got a cut. So my confidence was on 201100. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I look good. I had my earrings in. I put some jewelry on. I put on a shirt that, was still had the tags on. I took the tags off, put the shirt on. I put some of my J's on that I don't ever wear, because I don't want them to get dirty. And I don't really have all that many outfits to wear with them, but I threw those J's on, and I was just like looking good. Even my wife, she was just like, because where I was standing, and I was doing my face and all that stuff, and she could see me, and she took a little Snapchat pic, and she was like, who does he think he is? Because she could tell how my vibe, my aura, how I was in the mirror, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so yeah, my confidence was through the roof, right? So I get everything on and I walk out the door and we go to Row House. I meet them there. And of course we get there and my sister was dropping or their dog off with my parents. So I got to see my parents and they was like, "Hey Anthony, how you doing?" And they was even like, "Hey, I see your waves. I see your waves." And I was like, "Hey, don't stand too close. You might mess around and drown, you know what I'm saying?" So anyways, we go in the row house. It wasn't packed out or smashed out or anything like that. So we got a seat immediately. So I get into row house, right? And we're sitting there and we order our drinks. Of course, I get a strawberry lemonade. My sisters are lame and they get waters. I got my strawberry lemonade. Texas Roadhouse strawberry lemonade is pretty good. It's not as good as Wendy's, but but yeah. So I get the strawberry lemonade, and the waitress goes off and gets the drinks ready. And so of course at Roadhouse you have your rolls. So I'm getting my roll ready. I'm getting my little what is it, the cinnamon butter or whatever. I'm opening my roll and I'm getting my silverware ready, right? And I'm unraveling my silverware. At this point, I'm looking down, unraveling my silverware. The waitress comes back with the drinks, and she sits the drink, my sister's drink, on the table. And I'm not really looking. I can kind of see that much out of the corner of my eye, out of my peripherals. So I'm looking down, right? I'm looking down, getting my silverware ready, and then all of a sudden, drinks. My strawberry lemonade spills all over me, all over my shirt, my pants, goes down to my shoes, and I'm just sitting there like, like, man, I don't even. I was like, I can't believe this happens. Cause what somebody Google and figure out what's the percentage chance of that happening? How often are drinks spilled in a restaurant day to day? And then what's the percentage chance of it spilling on you? You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, did this really just happen? And she's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay. So I'm just getting the ice and as much of it off of me as I can. I scoot over to the side and I'm like, "Oh man, my socks are wet in my J's," and I'm just like, "Oh man." I was like, I got dressed up and I'm like just soaked, bro. I'm just soaking wet all through my pants, all down to my socks and my shoes. The bottom of my shirt is just gone. And she brings the towel and I just wipe the seat off. I'm like, oh, I forgot my phone's in my pocket. So I got my phone out, kind of wipe that off a little bit, put it to the side, put my keys to the side because they was in my pockets as well. They got sticky and everything. And it was just so crazy to me because it's like, man, you get dressed up. And I'm glad I wasn't like in like formal wear. I wasn't in a suit or nothing. Because like, some suits and they expensive. And if you get drink and stuff on your suit, that's a whole different. But it was like I had, it wasn't a super expensive shirt or nothing. And it wasn't super expensive pants. The shoes now, they was man, I was a little upset about the shoes. They got a little sticky and stuff, and get those cleaned and everything. But I was just like, man, what's the percentage chance of this happening? And the same day, I get dressed up. I don't hardly ever dress up, especially not the no row house. Like row house is just row house. I go in some cargo shorts, whatever. But I got dressed up because I just like you look good, you feel good. You want to if you feel good, I'm like, hey, I got a fresh cut. Somebody finna see me. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so I'm just like, I look good, so I'm finna go out here. I'm finna be confident, because like I have confidence issues. I'm not gonna lie. I have confidence issues. I have different things about myself that I don't really like or whatever. And sometimes different things in life, just kind of weigh on you, kind of just builds up. And of course, past traumas when we were children, different things people said, whatever. So I am actively working on my confidence. So this was part of me actively working on my confidence, getting my haircut regularly and dressing up, putting my earrings in, putting my jewelry on or whatever, my cologne. I'm getting into colognes and stuff. I got my smell good on. So I'm like, I'm out here. I'm like, I am him. I'm walking in, got my smile on, like, yeah, y'all see me, don't you? You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, man, it was I was I wanted to be mad, and I was mad because all that happened. Like you can't help but be a little, upset, disappointed, or whatever. But I just couldn't get like disrespectful, man. You know what I'm saying? Like it was an accident. You don't know what type of day she had or whatever. You don't know what's going on in her life, and it's not like it was malicious. It's not like she purposely like, or it didn't seem like she purposely just said, "Hey," you know what I'm saying? So accidents happen, and I've done things on accident, and when you make an accident, you don't want the person to like you apologize, and you want them to know, hey, I'm sorry. And she did all she could. She gave towels and all this different type of stuff or whatever. So I just couldn't be mad. It was just kind of like a laughing moment, and you could also look at it as like maybe the enemy was trying to attack my confidence or whatever. But I'm still confident. I still feel good. I still felt like I looked good, whatever. I still, dried off and sat down and ate and had a good time with my sisters. We had a laugh about it. It's probably won't be something we'll ever forget. We'll talk about it. Hey, you sure you want to go to Roadhouse? You might get a drinks, but you know what I'm saying? We'll crack a joke or two about it. So it was a good time. Still left her a good tip and or whatnot, because I'm trying to get better about that too, about tipping and, just being more of a giver because it's going to come back to me because I feel like giving is less about them and more about like because if you give it's gonna come back to you. You know what I'm saying? Like of course I don't think you should videotape yourself giving because I think that's a little bit much. But like if you got it and it's not gonna hurt you and your family and none of that, if you and you're not gonna miss it, give how you know what I'm saying. But yeah, of course. Anyways, but well, what I'm just trying to say is that's something recent that has been bothering me. Like, the whole situation of, you getting dressed up and then something like that, something like that happens, right? You like it's kind of like it's not exactly, but like one of the whole reasons why we started this podcast, right, was one of the examples that I used when I was, coming up with the idea and pitching it to people. It was like, those little things that bother you, those little things that happen, and sometimes like it's little things that add insult to injury. It's like being mad. You're already mad, and you're trying to leave out the door, and you got your lanyard, and your lanyard gets caught on the door, and you just like man, it just makes you so much madder. But it wasn't like this. It was kind of like a positive and then a negative trying to affect the positive in a way. It wasn't completely like that. And like I said, I wasn't super mad. I was just a little upset about, got dressed up and all that stuff. But we still had a great time. We still, got together and we laughed. We ate good food. My food was good and all that stuff. We had a good time, got out of there, and went on about our way. Of course, I texted my wife immediately, and it was like, "Hey, baby, guess what? I got dressed up, and I got a drink spit on me immediately, immediately, bro. It wasn't even 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. But like I said, we had a great time. But yeah, I like I said, this was just a short mini episode to kind of, boost the consistency. Anytime the longer episodes is gonna be the episodes with the guests. And maybe I'll even do a longer episode with just me and myself. And maybe I'll have a longer story, or maybe I will discuss some things that you guys put in the comments and we'll kind of elaborate on that. Of course, I got some guests coming up, guests lined up, and we'll get those out as well, get those episodes recorded. And I want to just say thank you guys again, especially those that listen this long into the episode, into the episode. And if you're listening on podcasts or you're just your favorite platform, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, any of those like that, be sure to give us a like, follow us as well because it helps us in the algorithm. If you follow us and give us a 5-star review, pretty please. If you're watching on YouTube, smash that like button for us. Be sure to subscribe as well and turn the notification bell on so you'll be notified when episodes go live. Once again, I'm your host, Anthony Vaughn, and we'll be back at it again and just keep thinking about it. What's bothering you today? All right. Peace. See you guys later.